Welcome back with more colors of Pakistan. Amber's going to be talking about this beautiful art painting and what it means to Pakistan real soon. But first, we promised you a treat. Bring the kids, and we're going to have a puppet show. Amber, what are we going to see?
Well, you're going to see a performance of a poem by the national poet of Pakistan, Allama Muhammad Iqbal. The poem is originally written in Urdu. It is called The Mountain and the Squirrel.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Enjoy the show.
A mountain used to say to a squirrel, "If all you knew better, you would jump into a lake. You're tiny, but just look at your pride. Brains, awareness, wisdom, no siree. It is God's greatness that nothing became something. Even those without sense are pretending to be sensible. All that I have you can never attain. A small animal against a mighty mountain?" Said the squirrel on hearing this, "Be careful, these are petty thoughts. Don't listen to them. So what if I'm not big like you? You're not small like me either. In every living thing, you will find God's greatness. Some big, some small. It is all God's kingdom. You do not have the power to take a single step. A grand size, that's all you have. You're greater, show me all you can do like me. Show me how to break this nut like me. Nothing is useless in God's world. No one is bad in God's world."
What a great performance by those kids, and what a great lesson for today's society.
Wasn't it though? And think about it. It was written in the 1920s, and all it talks about is the relationship between people and how not to be a big bully.
Which is very relevant in today's society, even here in Hamilton.
Yes, it is. I mean, with all the anti-bullying movements in schools.
So modern day Pakistan seems to me like it's mixing a lot of East meets West and bringing together culture, even in today's society. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, if there was only one thing that I was going to say about the Pakistani art scene in performing arts and music, it is that it is all about fusion. It is all about mixing, borrowing and mixing and producing something completely brand new. One of the few artists that I can mention today, given the time that we have, is Saad Khan, who basically popularized calligraphy, but taking modern Cubist movements, combining them with calligraphy, so that's where the fusion is coming from. He also believed that art should be public, so he donated his murals to public buildings in Pakistan. And what you're seeing here is a ceiling that he did for a fair hall in Karachi, which is another major public building.
Beautiful artwork.
It is, isn't it?
What else do you have?
I have another example by an artist called Gulji. He was another abstract expressionist, but he also worked in bronze, and he did the giant crescent on top of one of the most famous mosques in Islamabad. It's called the Shah Faisal Mosque. And he also did some stone work calligraphy inside the building. So he did a lot of the interior of that mosque.
How long would it have taken to create something like this?
I think for Gulji, it was about 10 years of planning and execution because he worked in stone and marble.
You brought a piece of artwork here, and I can see this by the smile on your face, how proud you are of this. What are we looking at?
Well, this is a painting by Nahid Raza. She cites Frida Kahlo among one of her influences, and she's also borrowing a lot from Pakistani folk art. You see Frida Kahlo's influence in the way she's done her faces, but you can see folk art in the colors that she's chosen and in the texturing that she's done on the canvas. She's tried to give it a leather look, a weathered look, which is very typical of Pakistani folk art. So that's where the fusion is coming from.
I see. So where are the Western influences in this painting?
It's in the faces, and it's in the influences, for example, from Picasso, where you see eyes that are not on the same plane. You see faces that are not exactly looking at each other, but and then she's using heavy charcoal, which is specifically Frida Kahlo influence.
Now, what about Pakistan music?
The music scene is extremely exciting these days in Pakistan. What you see is, bringing together folk music with Western instruments. And most of these music videos are available on YouTube through Coke Studio. But you also see artists who are reviving old world Sufi poetry and socialist poetry and putting those to modern instruments. So you see a lot of blending of the cultures, but also a sort of effort of being an ambassador for Pakistani art and culture to the rest of the world, given the global audience that they're getting. So you will see a lot of fusion in dress, in music, in album art. You will see a lot of Arabic calligraphy combined with photography movements. So it's a very exciting time for Pakistani music.
Does Pakistan have theater?
Yes, it does. Again, a very vibrant theater scene. And again, the same theme comes up in the theatrical scene because they want to be ambassadors both outside and within Pakistan. So you see movements like Tehreek-e-Niswa, which is led by Ashima Kirmani, and Tehreek-e-Niswa means women's movement. Her theatrical company is based in Karachi, and she performs dance and music shows, but she also takes her shows into the streets, into poor areas, so that she can educate them about women's issues, about poverty issues, about illiteracy. So she sees herself as a socialist, she sees herself as an activist, while also a theater artist.
Interesting to me how a lot of these issues are the same in Pakistan as they are here right home in Hamilton. Is that right?
It is. I mean, these are global issues at this point in time when we've got the developing world, and we're looking at human relations. We're looking at how to make life better for our for every human being in our cities. So you use art, you use literature, you use theater, music, whatever you can take, which would be appealing to the masses.
Thank you so much for just showing us a little glimpse of the art in Pakistan and how it affects us right here in Hamilton. Coming up, more colors of Pakistan with a fashion show. 6 regions of Pakistan when we come back.